If you recall, not that long ago, Kanye West appeared on the show Drink Champs and said a lot of wild stuff. He spoke about how he was still married to Kim Kardashian despite Saturday Night Live claiming that they were divorced, and he also launched into a whole tangent about Big Sean and John Legend. Now Big Sean is claiming that Kanye West still owes him millions of dollars. Both of those artists were signed to his music label, but when Kanye was running for president, they both allegedly criticized him. He goes on to say, "I changed this man's family, and both John Legend and Big Sean, when I ran for office, got used quick by the Democrats to come at they boy that actually changed their life. And that's some sellout-ish." In fact, he actually said that signing Big Sean was the worst decision that he had ever made. In response to that, Big Sean immediately tweeted out and said, "Was just with this man, he ain't say none of that. And this was after the interview. I'm dying laughing at you, Kanye West." While Big Sean was appearing on Revolt TV's podcast, he discussed the comments that Kanye made back in November. In response, Sean called his record deal with Kanye terrible and then claimed that Ye owed him millions. In Kanye's interview, he really let things fly. I mean, he was just trashing Big Sean both personally and professionally, which obviously would prompt Big Sean to do the same to Kanye. In the interview, Kanye also said of Big Sean, "Let me tell you, I already decided that when I die on my tombstone, it's gonna say I deserve to be here because I signed Big Sean." And like I said earlier, he then went on to slam both Big Sean and John Legend for not supporting his presidential run. He even said that they both owe him an apology, but I don't think that he's going to be getting one from Big Sean. Instead, Sean tried to play the good guy in this interview. He spoke about the loyalty that he had to Kanye and how the quality of the product that he produced under his music label was great, but added that despite being grateful for the opportunity to work with vets in the industry, his deal was still not good. But he stayed because Kanye had given him this golden opportunity from the start. When addressing Kanye's statements, Big Sean said that at first he thought it was hilarious, but then he took it personal. He then goes on to explain and says, "I took it personal because I'm the only artist who's put out 5 albums under good music. Kid Cudi left a long time ago. Business-wise, you know what I'm saying? They still clicked up and linked up, right? So I'm the only artist who's put out 5 albums under good music. I'm the only artist who put out back-to-back-to-back #1s, platinum albums, double platinum albums." He then spoke about why Kanye would drag him through the mud like this, and he was confused because anytime that Kanye had called on him, he would be there no matter what. Within a day's notice sometimes, he would just go help Kanye. Sean then goes on to say, "Whether it's to contribute to him in the studio, whether it's to contribute a line, write a verse for him, wherever he's at in the world, bro, I've traveled around the world for this man every time he's called." And anytime that he had helped him, he never asked for publishing credits because being signed to Kanye was a golden opportunity in his eyes. Later on in this interview, he goes into more of the business side of things as well, and that's where you really start to feel bad for Big Sean. You see, he signed with his label in 2007, and even his manager said that the record deal was awful. In fact, Jay Brown of Rock Nation called it the worst deal that he had ever seen. Sean said that recently he has had to even pay for audits to Kanye's label and spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on his own music. As a result, he claims that Ye owes him around $6 million. Sean then goes on to add, "I had to spend my own money auditing my label, because millions of dollars are missing, and you can tell when millions of dollars are missing. I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on my label thinking Universal owed me this money, and the money had been paid to good music." What baffled him even more though was Kanye's sudden great relationship with Drake, who he bigged up during his interview despite feuding with him prior to that. So here you have Big Sean, who is loyal to a fault, and he gets his name dragged through the mud, but if you're Drake, you can just disrespect Kanye West and he'll love you for that. As for the political argument that Kanye was having earlier, saying that Sean never supported him in his run for the presidency, it turns out that that was actually false. Sean maintains that he was one of the first people to actually tweet out Kanye for president. However, he did say that when the presidential bid failed, he didn't have Kanye's number at the time to contact him, but added that he purposely didn't endorse anyone else because he knew that his friend was running. And I'm sure with Kim Kardashian buying out Kanye's half of their LA real estate, he must have a few million lying around because he needs to give Big Sean back this money. $6 million is not a little amount of money, and it's strange that he would just go and claim that if it wasn't actually true. I'd love to hear your thoughts on all of this though, because that's all the time that we have for today. So stay classy, and I'll see you on the next one.